What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now, if you guys hear a little baby or Cocomelon in the background, it's because my daughter is sitting right next to me. I was able to film part 1 in quiet and in peace, but my baby missed me, so she's right here. So if you guys hear her, don't mind that. That's my boo. She's always with me. So with that being said, we are going to get into part 2 of this video. Y'all already know it is still your man's sweater weather, and I'm in my man's sweater, and we are going to get into some high-end palettes. So the part 1 was all about drugstore palettes. It was all about some that I would suggest, but all of them were pretty much very, very new. Like I said in that video, I didn't have nearly as many drugstore palettes as I do high-end palettes, just because I buy a lot of high-end palettes, and their color story, how they blend, how they work, it's less work. Of course, you pay for what you get. So you pay more money for your palettes, you're going to essentially get a better product. So with that being said, we are going to get into it. I have way more high-end palettes than I do drugstore palettes, but I'm going to try to talk. And the first one I thought I was talking too fast. This one I'm going to try and talk as fast as possible so I could get y'all through this, okay? So, I don't even know where to start. But before I even get started, make sure that you like, subscribe. Well, not like, subscribe, but you can go ahead and like the video if you feel, you know, impelled to. But make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified when I upload any type of videos. This is definitely going to be a consistent thing, so just make sure you like, subscribe, comment, thumbs up, and all that good stuff. So with that being said, let's get into the video. All right, so I don't even know where to start. I'm gonna start with some oldies. Oh, they're all kind of old. I'm just gonna get started. So I'm gonna start with the smaller palettes. How about that? So first, I'm going to start off with the Nude Rich and Nude Medium Huda Beauty palettes. See if you can get that color. I think these are really good fall palettes just because they're giving me pink. And I know when we think of fall, kind of like with my drugstore, we weren't really thinking about pink palettes. We were thinking about oranges and stuff like that, which a lot of these palettes have. But I wanted to include these, one, because they're small and compact. Like I said, people are traveling now or going to start traveling, hopefully traveling safely. But we want to make sure that these are travel friendly. And they give you nudes and pinks. They give you deep colors. Like, I don't know. I think it's very versatile. I think it's cute. These are older. She came out with these haze ones, but they reminded me a lot of these. So I wasn't in a rush to go get them because I was just like, well, I have these nude ones. They're damn near the same thing. So why not leave that the same? And then while we're on small palettes, I pulled the Fenty Beauty stack palettes. So they click together. I bought these when they first came out, but this is 5 and 3, and of course they're stacked palettes, so I just stacked them on top of each other. And 5 looks a lot like this, and 3 looks a lot like this. So you can interchange them. Like, I could use maybe some from this palette and then some from this palette. I think that they're really good because it gives you dark on this side. This is my thought process when I bought these two. It gives you dark on this side, and then it gives you like light on this side. So I think you have a good mixture of both where you could actually like make something shake, you know? So I really do like that. When we're talking about smaller palettes, we're gonna talk about my favorites. Now, I didn't know if I wanted to put talk about my favorite ones first or what, but these ones by Dose of Color, if there's nothing that I recommend, if you don't feel compelled to buy any palette that I'm talking about, go and buy these little ones. Now, they did repackage them. They sell these at Ulta and online. They repackage these, but when I tell you the pigmentation, the blendability, like, I love these palettes. I use these palettes all the time. As you can see, mine is like dusty. I love these. I absolutely adore these palettes. This is, I have the, what is this one called? Oh, I have the Baked Browns, the Sassy Siennas, and the Blushing Berries. And because I like these palettes so much, I'm going to show you exactly what each of them look like. So I just showed you the browns one. Here is, look at that. Look, with the black and these. As you can tell, I've used these palettes. Like I said, anytime anybody asks me, like, what palette would you recommend? Da, 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 first thing I say is these. I literally can't say enough about them. Like, I really, without sounding like a fiend, I love these. And honestly, the only one I don't have is the Cool Tone one. But now that I finally have done my first Cool Tone eyeshadow, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get that one. And they came out with some new ones that I'm probably gonna order. I've been slacking. But this is Sassy Siennas. So you get a little bit of everything in small palettes. So you get the reds, you get the browns, you get the oranges, you even get the Cool Tone ones. So I definitely recommend these, and they're at a good price point for them to be high end. So I would try to get those ASAP. Next, the Too Faced Born This Way Natural Nudes. This reminds me of the Maybelline one, the Nudes of New York. This reminds me of a lot of that one. So this is the palette. I've used this a couple times. Like I said, like with some of my drugstore ones, I hadn't used that much, but like I've used all but maybe 2, 3 of all of my high end. Like, I highly recommend spending money for things that you're trying to get good quality out of. So this is the Born This Way Natural Nudes palette. Super cute, super pretty. It's giving us a little bit of everything. Of course, this area, I mean, you can put that in your brow bone. I don't really touch that, but I do like this. And I just like how, like, the design of it. It was just different. It's sleek, it's thin. I could carry it around. It gives me what I need, and the color payoff is really good. So I definitely suggest that one. The next one I have is the NARS. This is a new one. It's the Extreme Effects. I'm like, how do I open this? This is one that I got from Ulta. I have not used it yet, but I do have plans to use it if I can open the damn box. So this is the packaging. Small, sleek, total NARS fashion. Of course, it comes with your little slip. And then this is the color payoff. So it has, that black is glitter black. This is glitter. All these are shimmers. Actually, all these are around the whole thing, actually. So around these are all shimmers, and then it gives you the 4 matte shades. Now, I don't see a brown matte, which is a little bit questionable to me, but I did think this color story was perfect for fall. It gives you plums, it gives you golds, it gives you browns, it gives you that black. It is shimmering. So I think that it's called like the Effects palette because I think it's more for like shimmery looks, like excuse me, like special occasion looks, things like that. I was intrigued by it, and I would recommend it only because I think it's something different. It's something that I don't have. You know, I don't have a palette like that looks like that. So I thought that that was a good one to include. So next we have the Supreme Nudes by Artist Couture. Girl, used it, loved it, going to keep using it, going to keep loving it. So this has, you can tell the palettes that I've used because they're all messy. I don't know if you guys can see that. I know my color was better on this side. I don't even think it matters, but hey. So, you got mattes on this side, mattes on this side. You have this green. I don't know why I'm obsessed with like swatching the green color. So that's a green right there. That's how it looks on my finger. It's like a goldish green. And then that's the color. That's just the green. That's just the glittery green out of here. So pretty, so on par with fall. I love when they include greens like this, or like golds like this, or like these mustard yellows, because I think that's like the epitome of fall colors. And this, blending this out, this is a dream, honestly. It's amazing to blend out. It's amazing to just get the look that you're looking for. And this is easy. Anybody could use this one. So they sell this at Sephora. I would definitely highly recommend. It's always sold out. So I would highly recommend getting your hands on this, asking for this for a gift. I like this. So I would recommend this one. Next, I don't use this palette that much, but it's the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette, and she posted on her Twitter. She is an influencer on YouTube, and it's sold in Sephora, and this is how it looks. She's an influencer here on YouTube, and when I bought this because I thought the colors were interesting, but then I guess she relaunched it, and then I was like, wait, I think I have that palette. And then I pulled it, and I'm like, oh shit, this is actually a really nice palette, and it's called, like, it's all based on latte. So this one's called Pumpkin Spice. How fitting. You have mocha, vanilla cream. Like, it just gives me kind of like warm fall vibes. I like that she included that pop of color with the purple. This first row right here kind of sells me a little bit. This is all, it's mostly all mattes, and then it has the 3 shimmers, which I like because sometimes you don't need too many shimmers. I think that you could do good with maybe these 3, and these are the 3 shimmers that majority of people use anyways. But I think the point of this was to kind of give off latte vibes, and I think it's perfect for fall. I think it has great fall colors in it. So I wanted to include that one because I honestly want to do a tutorial with this, and I have an idea. So yeah, she just relaunched it, so it's on her site, and I think it is in Sephora. I know that's when I bought this, but I bought this a long time ago, but it is available for you guys to purchase. I need to get sponsored, child. Waiting. All right, so this one's a new one. I got this from Ulta. This is the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice. Look at that packaging. The packaging alone just makes me want to, you know what I do like? I come from the back in the days, of buying makeup tutorials of buying palettes, and they include the brushes. I love that they don't waste their time and include brushes in palettes anymore, because I would look at the palette, look at the brush, go like that with the brush, and then do whatever the hell I would needed to do with my palette. So, because I just noticed that, like, well, there's not a brush. Like, I like that. So this is the Pumpkin Spice palette by Too Faced. I love this palette. I don't hear enough people talking about it. That's, oh, I thought it just messed up. I fell. I thought I just messed up. What? I didn't mess it up. But like, it's kind of, only thing is it's magnetic, so it's kind of hard to leave open sometimes. But I really liked this just because of the color story. That definitely gave me the colors that's on the front of the palette. Actually all of these. However, the way they branded this, like, see that? You see how kind of they branded that? And then you open it and it's kind of the same colors on the inside. Like, there's no surprise. And it's definitely giving me fall. It's giving me pumpkin. It's giving me food. It even, I think it smells like something. Not pumpkin. Too Faced is really good. Their peach palettes, all that, they're really good for palettes like this, actually making it smell like peaches. I definitely think that this is a good little fun palette for the holidays and for fall, and really fall, because I don't see myself wearing this in the winter time, maybe, but I think this is a good palette for the fall. Really good, girl. I'm not a big pumpkin spice kind of girl. I really don't like the smell of pumpkins. I'm like weird. I love fall, but I don't like fall candles, fall scents, none of that. I don't like all that pumpkin, but I will do this pumpkin palette on my eyes. Only a couple. I have one honorable mention and then 2 that are kind of grouped together. 2 brands that are kind of grouped together. So of course I have my Natasha Denona palettes. I included these because I think that these palettes, I mean, she's kind of going down on her prices. This Biba palette, I spent $125 on it. It's honestly one of my favorite palettes. I go to reach for this all the time. I bought it when I was in quarantine. I use this palette so much more than I thought I would. It's so smooth and creamy. It's so easy to blend. I just think that it's really, really good to have in your collection. Of course, the price point is a little bit high. So of course, if you have a birthday or something, that would be the time to ask for this. This is one of my favorite palettes. If you could ask for any makeup item, for your birthday or Christmas, I recommend this. I also use this during the summer too. So, but I'm just like, I bought this and I spent that much, so baby girl, I'm going to be using this. So I just want you to get in on this. Very cute, very neutrals. I really think this palette is so, so, so pretty. To me, it's worth the price point, but I also buy makeup. But I think it's so incredibly pretty. Like, I really, really love that palette. I also just recently got the bronze palette. Now, I think this was more for like bronzy summer kind of looks, but I think this will be really good for the fall as well. I like the colors in them. Of course, I like when they add that pop of black to set it off. And then you got a lot of shimmers. It's a lot of bronzy. So this will be a good palette to use when you're trying to add that spark of like glitter in your eye and you're really trying to like, you know, be a little bit more fancy, snatch it up a little bit. You could get that. And then the last Natasha Denona palette I have, I actually got this on sale. It's the Safari palette. And I like this color. I have not used this yet, but I like this colorway because this is giving me fall, but this is giving me fall with like pops of color. I feel like I can use this at any time of the year. I feel like this will be a good winter color. I mean, winter palette too, because of the blues. I really like the neutralness. It's an all matte palette, so there's no shimmers. But I really like the neutralness of this. And I feel like I could pick this up with any other palette that I'm using. I feel like I could use this at any time. I just think that this would be good for fall or any time of the year because you can literally get so many different looks out of it. It's very, very pretty. I like that. So we're down to our last couple of ones. Of course, I wouldn't be right if I did a palette drill down and I didn't include the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. This is a staple in everybody's collection. If you are a makeup collector, if you are new to makeup, this is definitely the palette, one of the palettes you should have. I definitely think it kind of replaced Modern Renaissance as far as palettes that you kind of need. Modern Renaissance was cute. I loved it. But this Soft Glam, you really can't get Soft Glam looks out of it. You can also, it's very fall neutrally. I think you can get so many looks out of it. Mine looks kind of beat up. I've used it. This color Sienna has been my favorite color to use in burnt orange, orange soda, just all of it. Like, I actually need to put this on my desk because this palette right here, you want to talk about looks. If you want to look at an eyeshadow palette, you want to talk about looks, this would be the palette for you to go and look up. And they still sell it in stores. They sell it in Ulta, they sell it in Sephora. This is definitely a palette that I would recommend everybody spending. If you want to spend a little bit of change, definitely get this palette. They came out with a sister palette to that. They came out with the Soft Glam 2 palette. It's smaller. I like that again for travel. And then they put like some of the colors in there. So I think some of them, if I look at them, some of it looks, I see orange soda, and orange soda was definitely in the other one, Nior. So I think it's just a smaller version of this one. So really, if you have this one, you don't really need this one. I just kind of realized that, but I kind of just like the colors that was in this. So the same colors that is in here is Tempera, Dreamer, Dusty Rose, Sultry, Mulberry, Orange Soda, Incense, and Nior. All these colors are in this palette. So I guess I was looking at size-wise. That's why I bought it. I thought maybe something was different the way they were promoting it. But honestly and truly, if you go out and buy this palette, you don't need the smaller one. It has like the same colors in it. But this is definitely a palette that I would recommend. And my honorable mention that I'm going to mention, because I wouldn't feel right talking about palettes and high-end palettes if I didn't mention this. Of course, it is not available. It might be available online. I know it's not available in stores, and I would been 2 seconds to thinking about buying a second one. Of course, it's our sister Jackie Aina, the Jackie Aina and Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. this is why it's an honorable mention, because it's not necessarily fall, but it's not necessarily not fall either. You can really use this palette any time of the year. What I like about this palette, one, is that Jackie really did, as she always said, she catered towards women of color on this one. Every color looks true to color. If you do your eyeshadow, you know that sometimes browns don't look like browns and they look like gray, or vice versa. Everything that's in this palette looks like what it's supposed to look like. It works on our skin. It's beautiful. And I will always include it in palettes when I'm talking about them, because I just think that you need, as a woman of color, you need a palette that's going to work for you. Not that no other palettes could work, but something that you don't have to overly manipulate, add a lot of base, anything like that. I think that she did a great job with this, and I'm thinking I'm gonna buy a backup just in case, you know, it gets rough. But I really do love this palette. So she needs to like do a part 2. Like I want more. The girls, Jackie, the girls want more, okay? So I thought that was gonna be way, way longer than it actually was, but it wasn't. So that's all the high-end palettes that I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want me to do a drugstore and a high-end on any other products, lip glosses, concealers, foundations, I definitely don't mind doing that, but I definitely wanted to do something that was related to fall and fall makeup, because I know we are about to start going into holiday season. So with that being said, that's all I have for this video. Make sure that you like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit that bell to be notified anytime that I post a video. Comment what palette you think you want to try, what palette you would like to see me do a tutorial with, all that good stuff. And of course, follow me on social media. Twitter and Instagram is AmberMMack_. In my podcast, More Wine Please with Amber Mack, it's on every podcast streaming platform. And I also have my website, sincerelyambermariemack.com. Of course, it is going under a revamp, so I will let you guys know when that happens. But other than that, that's all I have. Thumbs up this video, and make sure you guys leave comments. And yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.